Attempted murder accused and businessman Vusimuzi Matlala is expected back in the witness box at the Madlanga Commission this morning. Matlala was questioned extensively about his relationship with businessman Hangwani Maumela yesterday. For more on the story, let's hand it over to Sakina and our reporter at the Madlanga Commission, Canny Maphanga. Sakina?
Well, thanks, Leanne. Day 167 today, and of course, Vusimuzi Matlala returning to the Bridget Mabandla Justice College today, and tomorrow, Canny, is also expected to still come back. But then, of course, there are those other trials that he's involved in. But getting back to the business here and looking at the relationship between him and, of course, Swazi CB, and then, of course, Hangwani Maumela. And that is a picture that is becoming a lot clearer, but it also draws and implicates Vusimuzi Matlala in another tendering at the Tembisa Hospital.
Absolutely. Good morning to you, Sakina, and to the viewers at home. We're now seeing how the alleged tenders or alleged tender fraud doubles up with this legitimate business and alleged criminality within the context of how these alleged cartels function, how they work, what their modus operandi is. And it's about understanding the money flows and the transactions in the very confusing and bizarre manner that you see it, where somebody is engaged in a business such as alleged cartel member Matlala, but as soon as he gets his first payment from the SABC Medicare contract, the portion of it goes to Suleiman Karim, and it can't be explained why. Then Suleiman Karim takes a portion of that and gives it to Hangwani Maumela, and that too can't be explained why. And it goes beyond this allegation of obscuring payments. It is showing how the alleged networks work and who could have been managing a tender on behalf of who. Another instance in which you see this kind of bizarre pattern showing up is when the SABC Medicare contract was under risk of being terminated, basically. Matlala turns to Steve Mutsumi, which is a name we've heard before the Madlanga Commission, for another loan. And he had already been advanced 5 million rand without any paperwork or any kind of security legally to make sure that he pays it back. And he was going to get that additional 20 million as capital in order to fund the purchase orders, because we did hear evidence at the time that he was struggling to get this contract going because of the fact that he didn't have capital to meet the performance requirements of the contractual obligations. There's a bigger clue being discussed in these minor details, and it starts to show you where the big fish may be and what the true dynamic could have been with respect to these alleged tenders, which I think will now extend far beyond this SABC Medicare contract and the terms of reference of the Madlanga Commission. You're likely going to see that pattern and other tender allegations, such as the Tembisa Hospital saga, where you saw similar bizarre transactions taking place between different individuals. It shows you how deep this web of network is and how it allegedly operates within this particular space using the tenders, because we did remember Lieutenant General Dumsani Khumalo explaining in quite great detail how cartels work, that they have legitimate business, but it doubles up with alleged criminality, alleged drug trafficking, and also in terms of financing or supporting the structure of these businesses, you really do need those tenders. And now we're seeing similar names continue to pop up that seem to all have one connection to one another. And we're seeing that at all times, material times, tenders are at the center of the play. And those are the clues that you need to focus on as the Commission continues to advance on the aspect of the alleged cartels. When we were first introduced to this concept of the Big Five, there were only two images that were given to us. It was Matlala and Katiso Katie Molefe. It's becoming clear who you can place in those question marks, listening to this evidence and the kind of transactions that you are paying attention to.
The late Jotham Swazi Msibi, who seem to have been quite pivotal, but also very powerful.
And a father
in
figure
that
like to
network.
most individuals in that particular network.
Yeah, and Suleiman Karim keeps coming up because similarly to what the money flow was and the borrowing of money with Steve Mutsumi, it's almost exactly what happened with Suleiman Karim when
Absolutely.
he was here and asked about that, and we know he subsequently fell ill.